Hey everybody, my name is Bee, and welcome to a little bit of a different video here. Okay, so the new MacBook Pros actually just launched, and excuse me also, my webcam isn't working for some reason, so I have to use my DSLR, and it's kind of a weird shot, so I'm going to try my best to keep everything good. Sorry if it's out of focus or something. But we're going to take a look at the new MacBook Pros that just launched from Apple. They just announced them in a live stream yesterday. So first off to note, the MacBook Air is no more. That line is gone. They have replaced it entirely with the MacBook, just the straight up thinnest thing ever that has only a USB Type-C port and a headphone jack on the other side. It's just your basic bare bones laptop, you know. It's just about as powerful as your phone, but you know, it's a laptop and it's all you really need. Problem is, it's $1,400. And I get it because it's like crazy engineering specs and all that, but okay, whatever. But we got the MacBook Pros that just launched. Now there's three models. There is a 13-inch, a 13-inch with touch bar, and a 15-inch. And the 15-inch comes with a touch bar also. And so here we're going to take a look at those. So basically you can see first off, they've replaced the function keys with essentially an LCD panel that is also a touchscreen. And so it adapts to the program you're using. They showed it working with audio, with video, with all kinds of stuff that you can just tap the buttons there. And I think that's really awesome that it can adapt to different situations and, you know, allow you to like slide to adjust volume and stuff like that. But at the same time, when you look down, you're taking your eyes off of what you're focusing on. And when you look back up, you have to find what you're focusing on again. And it really just doesn't improve your workflow at all. I can see it as a neat feature more than something people would regularly use. I mean, if you're that high into you know, making music that you need something like that, I think you should buy equipment that does it even better than this. Good thing though, they've done a twice as large trackpad. Holy cow. Epic. Awesome. That is so awesome. I'm so happy about that. I love Mac trackpads and I love big trackpads, so it's awesome. So I'll get into the specs in a little bit, but the main thing here is you got to realize it's a little bit thinner, but it's also got 4 USB Type-C ports and a headphone jack only. Now this is both the best and the worst part about the Mac. So listen up here. These are USB Type-C ports, and what those can do is essentially anything. They can transmit audio, they can transmit video, so you can hook up a monitor, up to 2 5K monitors. You can hook up RAID storage arrays. It's super fast, so it can handle the whole bandwidth of, you know, having, you know, external storage and everything like that. You can hook up a mouse, a keyboard, anything. USB Type-C has been or is going to be the standard as opposed to USB Type-A that we're all used to, like this type of connector where, you know, it's not reversible. These are reversible, by the way. But the biggest problem, you see that little circle there? That's a headphone jack. You know what's missing that from Apple is the new iPhone 7. So in the new iPhone 7s, they ditched the headphone jack in favor of a barometer and a very minusculely larger battery, and didn't even make it thinner. And they replaced it with a lightning port, which theoretically could give you better audio, but you're going to have to pay a hefty premium to do that. And essentially, it's just a money grab to get people to pay the licensing fee to use that port in their headphones and stuff like that. And it also makes us carry around adapters, which doesn't make your device any more light and elegant like Apple always shows if you have a bunch of adapters hanging out of it, like, you know what I mean? So eventually this is going to be the standard, and everything you're going to have is going to be plugging into that. So I fully support the USB Type-C. The problem is they have this headphone jack, but they don't have a lightning port. If you have an iPhone 7 and you're using your lightning headphones, you can't use them on your Mac. You have to have another adapter. That is ridiculous. Apple, what are you thinking? Like, why? But why is this like, I fully support having the headphone jack there. I just think that they guaranteed should have included a lightning port too, so you can actually connect that. That just seems ridiculous to me that they would do something like that. but whatever, it's Apple. We're just gonna, move on with it. But you can see that this touchscreen can adjust to pretty much anything. You can slide through your tabs on Safari. You can go through keynotes and stuff like that. You can, change bold and color saturation, all that junk, and you can even customize it completely however you'd like, which is really awesome. Really like that feature. It's going to be pretty neat. Now let's take a look at the tech specs here. So this is the 13-inch we're looking at first off. So keep in mind there are two 13-inch variants. There is the 13-inch and the 13-inch with touch bar is what they're calling it, and so you can see that right here. Okay, keep this in mind. The original MacBook, or not original, but the MacBook comes in at $1,400. Then there's a MacBook Air that's about $900, even though it's a lot more powerful, has a lot more connections. That one's just thinner. So you pay a premium for the engineering for that, which I can understand. The MacBook Pro is essentially a slightly thicker MacBook Air that has a lot more power to it. It's your standard, just awesome MacBook. You know what I mean? It's a PowerBook, and it's great. But it starts at $1,500, which I can understand. I mean, all right. With the touch bar, you're bringing it straight up to $1,800. Wow. $400 for a touchscreen, huh? Wow. And it even goes up to $2,000 when it's not even fully spec'd out, to be honest with you. So the resolution is 2560 by 1600 as compared to 1080p HD is 1920 by 1080. So that's a pretty good bump up there. That's about around 1440p, a little bit higher than that, just sort of to give you a little bit of a realm of what that means. You can get these both, the 13 inches both come with dual core processors that run at 2.0 and 2.9 gigahertz respectively, and you can also configure them up to a dual core i7, which means it has hyper-threading. Don't pay attention to the Core i5 and Core i7 buzzwords. The only thing that means is that i7s have hyper-threading. That's all you need to know. But they're pretty similar. I mean, I would not pay the premium for the i7 with hyper-threading. I mean, it's not really worth it at that point. Cool thing though is they all start out with 256 gig SSDs, which is awesome. Getting rid of hard drives is the best. It's also cool too because you can configure it with a 512 or even a 1 terabyte SSD, which is super awesome, except that Apple makes you pay an extreme premium for that. You can also get 8 gigs of memory and configure that up to 16 gigs, and they come with either Iris 540 or 550 graphics. I highly recommend 550 graphics. They're amazing. Make sure you get the 550 graphics if you're going to be using this for any kind of video editing, gaming, anything. This is the Intel Iris graphics are actually really nice. The 540 is pretty good, but the 550 is significantly better for not that much more. And as I said before, you do get the 4 of the Thunderbolt 3 USB Type-C connections on the on the 13 inches with the touch bar, but you actually just get 2 on the normal 13 inch. You also get a full-size backlit keyboard without the number pad. Not even on the 15 inch do we get that, which really kind of sucks. And it has an ambient light switcher which automatically adjusts the brightness and stuff. We get AC, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.2, sorry, and a 720p webcam on a $2,000, $1,500 to $2,000 laptop. That's ridiculous. My crappy $300 laptop has a 1080p webcam. Apple, why? This is like top of the line as it goes for laptops. Why are you putting a 720? Okay, never mind. Just ignore that. We also do get 2 what they call significantly improved downward facing speakers, which kind of sucks. So if you're sitting on your lap, it's going to be kind of muffled by your legs and stuff like that. They do shoot a little bit towards the outside, so it should be pretty good, but just to give you a little bit of a sort of standard there. Also, you get charging through the Type-C ports, and you can charge through any of the Type-C ports, which is really awesome. It really does suck that they're getting rid of the mag charger, but I mean, USB Type-C is pretty sweet, gotta say. It's really awesome. Now we jump up to the 15-inch, which has the touch bar in every configuration, and it starts at $2,400 up to $2,800 for the not even fully spec'd out model. I'll go into those prices a little bit. We do get a slightly higher resolution at 2880 by 1800, and we get a quad-core processors, by the way, and they are both i7s, 2.6, 2.7 gigahertz, not worth the upgrade. We also get the 256 or 512 SSDs, so you can configure those up to 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes, which is really awesome. We get 16 gigs straight off the board. It kind of sucks you can't upgrade that to 32 at all, but I mean, I can understand. I mean, you don't really need that much more. You also get a GPU in this one as opposed to the Iris graphics, so you get a Radeon 450, so that's just one step down from the RX 460. Actually, wait, no, there's a 455 out of nowhere. I don't know where they came up with these, which is pretty interesting, but yeah. You can also get a RX 460, essentially, and those have 4 gigs of memory on them, but just to keep that in mind. And you also get the 4 USB Type-C ports, the headphone jack, no lightning port. You do get the touch bar. I think the speakers are front-facing on the 15-inch. They have these bars on the side. And to be honest, look at this. So take a look at this. This right here is the 13-inch. It looks like a totally normal laptop, right? But if you look at the 15-inch, it just looks like they took the keyboard and just shrunk it down. Does it not look like that? I mean, I just think that kind of looks pretty funny, that you have this massive trackpad that looks pretty normal size. Like, say this was a 11 or 13-inch book, and then you have just this weird looking thing. Also, to mention about the keyboards, they do use the butterfly switch that they used in the original, I keep saying original, in the MacBook, but they do have a rubber dome on them. They're calling them a second generation thing, so they're membrane and mechanical, so memcanical switches. I'm kind of curious to see how those test out. I'm actually going to go check these out today. I'm going to stop by the Apple Store and check them out right before my concert. I'm going to Yellow Card because it is their last concert ever, which is pretty sweet. Also, 720p webcam again, which is really stupid, to be honest. It's just not acceptable, especially on the highest end. Doesn't even come with that. But pretty much all that is essentially the same. They haven't updated any of their desktops. They did update a little bit of the Apple TV, by the way. You do get, I mean, it is the same hardware, but it is a significantly improved software, and you can also get it for your iPad and iPhone, which is pretty sweet, where you can watch live TV. I don't know too much about that, though. It's kind of interesting how they've configured that all to work. But guys, that's going to be all for the video. If you did like it, please let me know by leaving a like down below. Leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think it was justified to use a headphone jack instead of a lightning connector, or should they have also included a lightning connector? Let me know, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.